In a land ruled by ice and shadow, two kings meet tanned. Only one can hold the forest. In the vast, frozen wilderness, where ancient forests carpet the feet of jagged mountains, a silence reigns, heavy and absolute. This is a realm of stark beauty and unforgiving law, a kingdom sculpted by wind and frost. Here, two of the planet's most formidable predators command their own domains, their lives a testament to survival in its purest, most brutal form. One is the Siberian tiger, a phantom of the taiga, a whisper of orange and black that moves with lethal grace. The other is the grizzly bear, a colossal monarch of the open slopes, an embodiment of raw, untamed power. Our territories, though distinct, often bleed into one another, creating a frontier where legends are forged in snow and blood. The tiger, Panthera, Tigris alteca *, is the largest of all cats, a solitary hunter that has perfected the art of the ambush over millennia.
Ow.
Its existence is a masterpiece of stealth and patience, a life spent in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to unleash a storm of explosive energy. Its power is not just in its size, but in its profound connection to the dense, labyrinthine forests it calls home. It is a creature of surgical precision, a silent executioner, whose presence is often only confirmed by the absence of its prey. Across this same unforgiving landscape roams another sovereign, a being of entirely different philosophy. The grizzly bear, Ursus arctos, horribilis *, is a mountain made flesh, a monument to brute force and indomitable will. Where the tiger is a whisper, the grizzly is a roar that echoes through the valleys, does not hide in the shadows, it is the shadow. Its life is one of dominance, of asserting its presence through sheer physical might and an intimidating aura that sends lesser creatures scattering.
At.
The grizzly relies not on intricate strategy, but on overwhelming power.
At.
A force of nature that can shatter bone with a single swipe and whose endurance can outlast any challenger. It is a walking fortress armored in thick fur and muscle, driven by an insatiable hunger and an instinct to command its surroundings. These two rulers, the master of stealth and the titan of strength, exist in a delicate, often violent balance. Their paths are destined to cross in the harsh crucible of winter, where resources are scarce and every patch of land is a fortress to be defended. It is in these rare, fateful encounters that the unwritten laws of the wilderness are put to the ultimate test. A meeting between them is more than a simple territorial dispute. It is a collision of worlds, a primal clash of evolutionary philosophies. The forest holds its breath, for when these two kings meet, the very ground trembles. Snow falls in a soft, soundless curtain, blanketing the forest in a shroud of white. Each flake adds to the profound quiet, a silence that is both serene and menacing. Through this ethereal landscape glides a specter, a ghost woven from shadow and flame. The Siberian tiger, its coat a perfect camouflage against the dappled light and dark trunks of the birch and pine, moves with an impossible fluidity. Each massive paw, padded and wide, presses into the deep snow without a whisper, distributing its immense weight so perfectly that it leaves almost no trace. Its powerful shoulders roll with a liquid grace, muscles coiling and uncoiling like immense springs beneath a thick mantle of winter fur. The tiger's head is low, its gaze a focused, burning amber that misses nothing. It is a creature entirely in its element, a silent hunter navigating a world it knows intimately. Its senses are a finely tuned orchestra, detecting the faintest scent on the frozen air, the subtle crack of a distant twig, the almost imperceptible vibration of movement through the frozen earth. Every step is a calculation, every pause a moment of intense assessment. It is the embodiment of controlled power, a force of nature held in perfect, suspenseful reserve. Miles ahead, in a clearing where the trees give way to a wind-swept, frozen expanse, another form of power makes itself known. A grizzly bear, a colossal figure of shaggy, grizzled brown, rises from its foraging. It had been digging for roots beneath the snow, its enormous claws long and side-like, tearing through the frozen ground with casual indifference. Now it stands on its hind legs, a towering, monolithic presence against the pale sky. It is a mountain of muscle and fur, unshaken by the biting wind, its small, intelligent eyes surveying the domain it has claimed as its own. A low guttural rumble emanates from its deep chest, a sound that is not a threat, but a simple statement of fact. This is its territory. Unlike the tiger, the bear makes no effort to conceal its presence. Its dominance is its camouflage. The scent it leaves, the tracks it carves into the snow, the sheer noise of its existence all serve as a warning, a proclamation of its reign. It is the raw, brute force of the wilderness personified, a king who rules not through stealth, but through undeniable, overwhelming presence. Their paths, governed by the ancient rhythms of hunger and territory, are now converging. The tiger, drawn by the scent of a potential meal or the intrusion into its hunting grounds, moves inexorably forward. The bear, sensing a challenge to its authority, stands its ground, a bastion of unyielding strength. The forest, a silent observer to this impending collision, seems to hold its breath. The air grows still, heavy with anticipation. Clash of titans is imminent, a battle where instinct, territory, and pure primal force are about to collide in a maelstrom of violence. A low growl, like the sound of grinding stones deep within the earth, escapes the tiger's bared teeth. It is a sound of pure, focused malice, a promise of the violence to come. It circles the edge of the clearing, a fluid ribbon of orange and black against the stark white snow, never taking its burning eyes off the monolithic figure at its center. Its movements are deliberate, a dance of death as it calculates angles, assesses weaknesses, and searches for the perfect opening. The tiger is a strategist, a patient predator that understands the geometry of a fight. It knows its own explosive power is best deployed in a single, decisive burst. In response, a thunderous roar shatters the frozen silence, a sound that rips through the air and echoes off the distant, silent mountains. The grizzly bear accepts the challenge, its own fury now fully ignited. It drops to all fours, its massive head low, its powerful haunches bunched beneath it. There is no subtlety in its posture, no feint in its intention. It is a battering ram, a force of pure destruction. With another earth-shaking roar, the bear charges. It is not the sleek, graceful run of a feline, but a terrifying, ground-devouring gallop, a display of shocking speed for a creature of its size. It is power made kinetic, an avalanche of muscle and claw aimed directly at its challenger. The tiger, poised and waiting, sidesteps the initial onslaught with a dancer's agility, its own powerful and fearless nature on full display. Snow erupts in blinding clouds beneath their claws and paws, as the forest clearing transforms into an arena of raw, elemental conflict. The fight is a brutal ballet of contrasting styles. The tiger lunges, a blur of motion, aiming for the neck and spine with its devastating canines, a master of deadly precision seeking a swift surgical end. It strikes and retreats, a phantom delivering lightning-fast blows, its claws tearing through thick hide, leaving crimson trails against the bear's dark fur. The bear, in turn, rises up, a towering behemoth, swiping with paws that carry the force of falling trees. Its strategy is one of attrition and overwhelming strength. It seeks to crush, to break, to pulverize its agile opponent under its immense weight and unstoppable force. Each swing of its massive arms could be a finishing blow, each grapple a death sentence. The tiger dodges and weaves, but the bear's sheer endurance and relentless pressure begin to take their toll. The forest becomes a chaotic vortex of sound and fury, the snarls of the cat, the bellows of the bear, the sickening crunch of impact, and the constant spray of displaced snow. It is a battle of raw strength against deadly precision, a primal war waged for the ultimate prize, survival and dominion. The stark and unforgiving wilderness, rule is never permanent. The crowns worn by its kings are heavy, forged in conflict and defended through constant struggle. The battle in the snow-drenched clearing eventually subsides, leaving one victor standing over a landscape forever marked by their epic confrontation. But this victory is not an eternal decree. It is merely a moment, a temporary verdict in the endless trial of nature. The forest itself is the ultimate arbiter, a silent, impartial judge that bestows power and just as easily reclaims it. The seasons will turn, the ice will melt and freeze again, and new challengers will inevitably rise. Even the most dominant kings, whether they rule through silent precision or overwhelming force, must fight relentlessly to keep their crowns. The throne of the wild is never truly owned. It is only held for a time, until nature, in its infinite and brutal wisdom, decides the victor. The law of the forest is simple. Only the strong, the cunning, and the enduring survive to see another dawn. Who truly rules the frozen forest, the silent hunter, or the mountain of muscle? Comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more cinematic wildlife battles.